YTV, play guitar, program 2, VTR number 4817, take 1.
15 seconds. 10 seconds.
Welcome to this program, Play Guitar. It's going to be a lot of guitar playing from now on and many weeks ahead. And maybe you saw a program last week where you could see 100 persons playing the guitar. In fact, they had never been playing before, as you maybe noticed. But within 20 minutes or a couple of minutes more, they played many melodies for the first time in their life. And if you want to play guitar, which I hope you will, that means I hope you are convinced now that you at home can play guitar since you follow this program. You might listen to this because if you haven't got a guitar and want to buy one, this is the program for you. And if you got one program, it might still be worthwhile listening to it because it's a lot of advices which you should demand of your guitar. Also, we're going to talk about the guitar book, Play Guitar. And on that cover you can see Floppy. And I hope you don't end up like Floppy, smashing the guitar. So just listen to the program and you will not. I will also introduce a couple of persons who were at the program and decided to play guitar. Wasn't it that right?
Yes.
All right, what's your name?
Evelyn.
Good, welcome. And you?
James.
James, welcome James.
Hello.
So, if you take a look in this book, inside the back cover, you will find something that says what you should demand of your guitar. And if you start to read from there, and now we'll have to explain if there's any questions.
What's this about a large or small model? What does it mean?
Well, if it's a small one, a small size person needs a smaller size of
So
guitar.
you can buy them at different sizes?
Yes.
I see.
But the most important thing is that you should then, if you buy a small one, you should also take care of that it's a good one.
Yeah.
And that's very important. A small one is also a good guitar.
It mentions the soundboard here and the back. They must be made of genuine wood. Aren't they all made of genuine wood.
In fact, they are not, but sometimes it looks like they are. I will explain about that later on. It affects the tone, color, and the sound, the length of the tone, and so on. And the back should also be made of the same good resonance wood. And you know, what do you call this?
The
grain.
Grains. There is one trick you can learn from Nina, how to decide whether they are trying to fool you or not. The grain outside should be the same as the one inside,
course, yeah.
so it's not plywood beneath a cover of good wood.
Yeah.
And that you could discover if you use a mirror. Or if you look through to the bottom, you have to find the same on the back.
As round the back.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. What about the neck? You say here it must be thin. Where is the neck? What do you mean by thin?
Well, here, it should be about 20 millimeters, and that's because it's easy for the hand to play. It's convenient,
To get round
not
it.
clumsy. And it's a little bit thicker up here, but and that's good. But then a bad neck tend to break or bend. So they usually split it up in 3 pieces and then glue
Glue it, yes.
together again. There is another way of doing it. That means to put a metal piece inside
To
here,
strengthen the...
under the
neck.
fingerboard.
Yes.
But that is something you can't see, so you have to ask your dealer. If he can't answer you, ask him to get the right answer.
I
If he
see.
can't still, don't buy the guitar.
Quite.
In here it says the fingerboard. Make sure it has one. I thought all guitars had a fingerboard.
Well, it should have, but it hasn't. Sometimes they used to paint one on to fool you. And if it's too soft, then you can even make marks on it with your nails. You
Yeah.
can decide. Well, anyway, it should be glued to it, and it should be of a hard material like jacaranda or well, something like
ebony,
that. Something like that, yes.
Why does it have to be hard? What?
Well, you see, because of otherwise the strings and the acting of your fingers will make it. What do you call that?
Wear it out.
away.
Yeah, wear it
Make a
out.
groove in it.
And also, these frets are fixed into the fingerboard by bending the fingerboard first, and then you press it in, and then you glue the fingerboard on, and it stays there.
Yes.
And that's another important. We'll come to that later on.
The frets. Now then, I presume that those are the frets, are they?
Yep, that's the frets, yes. The metal pieces here. And they should be fixed in a very good position, otherwise it doesn't tune right, and so on. And they're also made out of silver almost, because that's somewhere between soft and hard. So they're gentle to the fingers and the strings as well.
So they won't wear them out quickly.
And there is one thing you could look for. If the frets are sticking out a bit, that could be a sign of that the guitar, the wood, has been wet, a little bit wet, not wet so it drops,
Right.
but wet so when after a month or a year or something, it dries up and then the frets will stick out and you can feel it with your finger like that.
Yeah.
And that's a sign that the guitar is not very good,
Bad materials.
or it's not
Yes.
even fixed correctly.
Yes. You're also mentioning a machine head. What, you know, where is a machine?
I would like to say another thing first about the frets. I just remembered. If the frets is sticking up that way from the fingerboard, then you could check it up by doing like this, looking along the fingerboard. Then you can see proper if somebody is sticking up. And if you believe there are, use then a roller and put it on like this. If it say click, click, like that, this doesn't. See, doesn't
So
sound at all.
very level.
Then it's good. So that's a trick. And if you find it like that, then ask your dealer to fix the guitar or ask some expert.
I'll start on another
If you
one.
haven't bought the guitar, don't buy it until it sounds correct. All right then.
Yeah.
And you talked about the machine head
That's
as well.
a machine head.
All right. Well, this should be very careful done. In fact, they could be very expensive if they are good, because the string should react immediately, and without saying, because that's a sound that they are fixed tight, stiff or something. Then, of course, that could be depending on that the guitar hasn't been used for quite a while, and then you could have some, we call this oil,
Machine oil.
Yeah, and just a small drop on it, and it will work.
Now then, what about the bridge? You say it's got to be glued. Obviously, it must stay in one place.
I'll give you the example here. It has to be glued on because the length from here up to here should be absolute, because it's a matter of very close calculation. And if you put it away, the guitar will go out of tune.
So obviously, if it slips, it's going to spoil the tuning and everything.
Yes. And this, then again, you got a saddle, or you call it a bridge. There's many different names on it, and it depends on which school you are reading. As long as you understand, it's a piece of bone or plastic which should be able to remove from here.
I see.
So if you want the height of the strings changed somehow,
You can adjust it by
that would
bridge.
should be possible to adjust, yes.
Yes.
So look for that one.
Yeah.
All right, and it's the same with the one over here. It should also be possible to remove that one, but that should be done by an expert anyway. I would prefer that.
Quite.
And then the height of the strings should be here. You should be able to have a piece about 3 millimeter between the first string and the 12th fret here, and between the 6th string and the 12th fret about 4 and 5 millimeter. Up here at the first fret, it should be 1 millimeter between the 6th string or the first string, between that and the first fret.
Why do they vary? What does it
That's
mean?
depending on the style you play. If it is a guitar if you play hard, you need a hard string, and then you could place the string a little bit lower. Otherwise, it would be too hard
difficult.
to play. But if you are using a weak string, then again you must have a little bit high, because the vibration is bigger.
So the strings also depend on the sort of sound you want to make. Yes.
Yeah, but that is a case for very much research, I must say.
If you're going to buy a guitar, you want to check the tone of it.
Yeah.
What should you look for?
Well, a simple thing, what I talked about, if it doesn't buzz, you can check this way. Every fret up here, and like so. And you do that on every string. And then, of course, it should sound good as well.
Yes.
Oh,
You can hear it goes on and on and on. And that should be the same even up here.
Wherever you play it.
And
yes.
on the other hand, it's a matter of taste as well. Somebody wants a guitar to sound like this, and somebody wants to have it like that. That's a matter of taste.
Is there anything more we should know about, the inside? Is there anything important
Well, if you
there?
put your fingers inside here, you can feel if it's a good workmanship.
So that it's finished off well.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you see, it's a matter of fact, if you turn the guitar around and the whole factory comes out.
Lumps of wood fall over.
Yeah, that's it, yes. Well, that could be a sign on a bad work.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily happen, but it could be.
Does it matter where a guitar's manufactured?
In one way, yes, because not that it necessarily has to be bad done in another country or in any country at all, but the fact that the weather is different in different countries. So I have had pupils at the academy in Sweden. They bought guitars for £400 and the guitar braked because they were bought in another country, not suitable to the Swedish weather.
Is it important that we should buy a guitar at £400
No.
to start?
Here's important. This is a concert guitar. You don't need that in the first place. You could get along with a guitar for £25 or something like that. I mean, you get a reasonable sound and you can learn to play. And if you look for these points which we made now, there's sometimes even is a cheaper one. But then the choice is yours. And you just be careful. That's the only thing I would like to say. It's very difficult. A guitar made in a factory is always made in a factory. This is a handmade one, which causes the price. So £25, that will
Get you started.
get you started.
Yes, yeah.
I think that's important.
Yes.
And in case you want to take good care of your guitar, you just carry it in a case. when you go out in the winter time. And you inside you hang it up on the wall like that, so the air can circulate.
Oh, I see. You take it out the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then. But now when you have got the guitar, or when you have bought it, you have to tune it. Many persons think that's very difficult, but I would say only that it's unfamiliar, maybe, if you haven't done it before. You get a tuning fork and you hold it in the bottom like that, because this fork has to be sounding, don't stop the vibrations. And you knock it on the knee or on the head, wherever, as long as you don't destroy the fork.
Because you need that.
The knee.
Not the head.
And it sounds like that. Once more. That's an A. It's very high up. I have to be a soprano.
I don't think you
And
can
I'm
reach
not.
that.
Well, anyway, this is the way it should sound there. So, 1 fret, the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and 5th fret,
Yeah.
1st string. Well, I think it's fair enough. Well, if it shouldn't be fair enough, then you turn your tuning peg like this.
Really give it a good turn.
Yeah, don't be scared. If you have nylon strings, which I hope you have, because they are gentle to the fingers, they will not break. Remember? Well, that's good. Now, if you look up in the book, you will find a diagram which says the same thing. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th fret, where you will find an A. And that's the name of the tuning fork you have to buy. And now you got the open string, 1st string, sounding an E. And that then should be compared with the 2nd string pressed down at fret 5. And we'll see what happens when I do that at my guitar. That wasn't very good, was it?
No.
All right then. Then I have to tune the 2nd open string. Oh, it's on the 2nd string. It's still too low. I'll do it more. All right. That's better.
Yes.
And then that's the way you go, continue. That you got now the B string, the 2nd string open, which is to be compared with the 3rd string, the 4th fret.
On the
this time.
4th fret.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which gives the G string, which is to be compared with the 4th string on the 5th fret again,
Again a G.
a G. And the open D string, then compared with the 5th string pressed down at the 5th fret, which gives the D. And then A string, the 5th string, compared with the 6th string pressed down at fret 5.
Yeah.
And then you got the last and 6th string
That's,
tuned.
that's all your 6 strings
Yeah.
across.
And if you find it difficult to tune, maybe sometimes you find it difficult to tune, however hard you try, with a tuning fork, try to do it with this one, which is a tuning pipe. You see, they are not to be trusted all the time, but they can give the rough idea about how to tune. So I will follow this one now. And then the other hand, oh, that's a, yeah.
Lost your whistle.
Well, that's about it. And then after that, you try to correct it the way
Yeah.
it should be done.
But those will help beginner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, just practice and practice, and later on, or sooner or later, you will get it right.
It must be very
The
confusing.
most important thing is that you don't get scared. Try. In the play guitar, you will find, on the inside cover, you will find parts of the guitar. Here is how to tune your guitar, some advices of tuning, and something that says, don't worry, read.
Me?
Yeah?
If to begin with you find it hard to tune your guitar, don't get depressed.
Because many people think they are very unmusical.
Yes.
They don't have no
They
good
can't
ear and
hear.
so on. But that's wrong.
Oh. Almost everyone finds tuning troublesome. Yeah, but gradually it'll get easier and easier.
Do believe me, because that's a fact.
Yes.
I didn't invent that.
As we get more experience, yeah.
That's it.
Bear in mind, too, that old strings can cease to hold their pitch and therefore become impossible to tune correctly.
Yeah. That means an old string can get false in itself and impossible to tune.
So you just replace them?
After 3 months or something, the guitar strings are almost out of tune.
As quickly as
Because,
that?
and if you exercise, they could be even faster. But go ahead and change that. Well, now then. What is there more to say? Greensleeves. Do you remember Greensleeves?
From last week?
Yes, I think I do.
La dum dum dee 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 da dee da dee da dee da 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 la dee da 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 dee da dee da dee da da dee dum bum ba. Well, did you notice I didn't play with my left hand?
Yeah.
Only with my right. Well, that in fact, for you maybe who hasn't seen the program last week, I tell you this is the first melody in the book. And at the end, you start to play like this. Da dee doo doo da dee 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 doo 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 just move your finger, right?
So easy. I believe it.
Well, now to sum up a little bit, buy a book so that you can read the advices and follow the course, because I hope you are convinced now that play guitar is something for you. And then when you got the book, read it, try to get a little bit ahead so that you are familiar what you will find on the pages in the program. And then have a pencil and a paper ready. Maybe you want to make a short note so you remember after the program. What is there more to say? Practice tuning in as well, because you will learn it, I promise you. And, well, go ahead and practice to play. Because I don't think you have to practice, just go ahead and play. And that means practicing after all. So, well, what is there more to say about that? But take a look in the book again. Would you pick up something? Don't you think we should just see if there is any melodies you would like to know anything about? You haven't seen it before, have you?
No.
I haven't seen the book, no.
Well, just go ahead and tell me something. What's in it then?
Cinderella, yes.
Cinderella, yeah? Like?
Page 11.
If you watch my hand, it's 2 chords. But of course you can play like this as well. I think that's in program 13 or something.
13?
Yeah.
Quite well advanced by that stage.
Yeah, well, you would be. That was another one. Thank you very much. I hope we would meet you next week with a guitar and a book, and you are very much welcome.